More on this now with economics professor Joann Weiner in Washington, D.C. She's also the director of the Master of Science in Applied Economics at George Washington University. Great to have you back with us, Professor. So it looks like there has been a breakthrough in terms of temporarily raising the debt ceiling. But why is it so important that the US government be allowed to borrow more money?
Well, the U.S. spends more money than it takes in, and we have a provision that the debt can only reach a certain level before the U.S. can't borrow any more money and pay its bills. That's what's holding the government up, is that we're still spending and we're not bringing enough revenue. So without raising the debt ceiling, the U.S. government couldn't pay its bills, and they'd have to they'd either default or stop paying people like federal workers and Social Security and so forth. It's a real problem.
It sure is. Democrats say Republicans earlier had agreed to raise the debt ceiling 3 times under the Trump administration, the suggestion being that they're now using it as a political football in order to force Joe Biden to compromise on his $3.5 trillion spending plan. Do you think the Democrats may be forced to revisit those plans, given that they'll have to look at a longer-term solution in December?
Well, there are a lot of moving parts in Washington today. The President Biden does have an ambitious spending plan and also some tax increases. So that's the one side of it. The other side of it is just these, in my view, a wasted time over the debt ceiling. We know that the U.S. government can't default on its obligations. It's the safest place in the world to invest. And back in 2011, under then President Obama, we had the same sort of showdown, and it created a lot of temporary problems that causes the people to question the U.S.'s credibility, and that is something that is very difficult to get back. So these games with the debt ceiling are really destructive. Using them as a means to thwart President Biden's agenda is a political strategy, and that's for the members of Congress to work around, but not to hold the debt ceiling as an issue to drive that.
Okay, Professor Joann Weiner, we'll have to leave it there, but a pleasure as always. Thank you for joining us.